Welcome to the GCN Tech Show.
This week we're discussing, are you using the wrong depth wheels?
Plus, in Hot Tech, we have 2 new wooden gravel bikes. We have a limited edition Canyon Speedmax. We have limited edition bike helmets. We have more pro team news and a competition to win free stuff. Oh, there's the bike vault and comments of the week as well.
Incidentally, do you know what the best pro team is?
No.
Whey Isolate. It's the most complete source.
What about protein news?
Don't know.
Yeah. Okay, this week we are discussing if everyone is using the wrong depth of wheel, and if so, what is the best depth they should be using. So last week, you see, I caught up with Harris and Macris from Princeton Carbon Works wheels. They were over at the Rouleur show. I think they had some glasses of grape juice as well.
5 cups of grape juice.
And then they made it here, and we discussed kind of like what he thought would be the optimal or ultimate wheel for a bunch of different riders, not just pros, but amateurs and beginners as well. So we had a big deep dive nerd chat, not specifically like Harrison being like, buy our wheels, they're amazing, because I really wanted to hear about some of the specifics and sort of details.
Well, yeah, I mean, what you're going to talk about applies to all wheel brands.
Yeah,
it's more
exactly.
About,
some specifications. So before we get into the chat that Harris and I had, I thought it would be good if you and I just quickfire shared our thoughts. What kind of wheels and advice would you give to beginners, amateur, pros in terms of like the ultimate wheel setup? No wishy-washy answers.
If you're a beginner, the wheels that your bike came with. If they're not broken, just use them.
Amateur riders?
Just upgrade your wheel in one of the 3 key areas. Either go for a wheel that's lighter, stiffer, or more aerodynamic than what you currently have. You might get more than one of those 3 things, but you're unlikely to get all unless you're paying top dollar, which is where you then get into the pro area, where expensive wheels, when you start getting well over £1,000, euros, or dollars,
big time.
You start to then get to the point where it is lighter, stiffer, and more aero.
All 3 at once. So my thing for amateur riders, or also beginner riders, is just like pure robustness. Aluminium wheel, the most durable, robust hub known to humanity. And then this was actually a really interesting point I was discussing with Harrison, was like the ultimate rim depth for amateur riders. I'm going to say 50 mil is like strikes the best balance. Harrison had some quite different thoughts on this, so I think it's going to be interesting to hear what he has to say. Right, cue the nerd chat from me and Harrison. Also, did a very good British accent. Caught me off guard.
Right, yeah.
This is great. That's really caught me off guard.
We're not doing that part. I have an overarching opinion that the best umbrella wheel set is what you are most comfortable on.
Yeah.
So whether you're a beginner cyclist, an enthusiast cyclist, or a racer, the most important thing is that you are comfortable with what you're riding. If you don't feel confident or comfortable on your bike, you can't go fast.
Okay, that's a really good point. So what that leads us on to then, and what are the things that you think would help someone to feel that way?
Right, and there's a number of attributes that play into this concept that we've sort of honed in on as being confident and being fast because you have confidence in your equipment.
Okay, yeah.
So there are technical attributes as far as construction, materials. Then there are design attributes as far as if the wheel's stable in certain conditions, at certain speeds, under cornering loads, whether it's frontal wind only, crosswind only, rotational speed, vibration in the wheel. All of these things play into making a wheel set that at the end of the day, you can ride and feel confident riding. And I think that's important regardless of how fast you're going, regardless of if you're racing or just going down the street, for a leisurely ride just with your kids, or if you're in the pro peloton.
Yeah.
And I think if you're in the pro peloton, it's the most important because you're going down these harrowing descents and you have to know that you're on good gear.
Yeah.
Like you're trusting your life.
Yeah.
Really. Yeah. You're trusting your life to the gear. So you have to be on good gear. You have to be confident. If you watch Descent Disciples and Tom Pidcock going down, you're like, wow, that guy is confident. Like,
Yeah, in those,
he's going full throttle.
in those situations of speed, if something goes wrong, it's going wrong in a big way, isn't it?
Yes.
So let's start at the sort of more, maybe not right at beginners, but the sort of person who's got into cycling, they've probably got their second or third road bike, and they're like, I want to start making it nice. What things in terms of wheel are important to them? Do they have to go carbon straight away? Do people want really deep wheels? What kind of rim width? How do the hubs play into this?
Yeah, so I'd say they can go carbon right away just because now carbon has become very accessible.
Okay.
Like the entry level carbon the price point has come down where it is accessible. There are affordable options that are very good.
Yeah.
Very, very good. I would recommend you don't go crazy deep, only because there's no real need. It doesn't buy you much when you're just starting out. A regular medium depth wheel, between 38 and 50 millimeters is more than enough because you'll get aero benefits. It will be fairly light. I think at the beginner level, from our experience, the most important thing is durability and repeatability of the experience, because you want the experience to be good every time you go out and you're starting.
Yeah, okay.
If you're starting and you want to make your bike nicer, you want to have a good experience every time you go out, because if you go out twice and you have a good experience and on the third time something breaks, you're like, the bike's going to sit for a week and maybe you'll fix it, maybe you won't. You'll take it to the shop, you go through the rigmarole. So I think at the beginner level, durability of components is especially important, and that really comes down to the hub and the build. You want a well-built wheel, and you want a high-quality, very durable, water-protected, very sealed hub.
Yeah. Something that's going to keep everyone on the road, without having to worry about constant maintenance or parts being pushed to the maximal limits of performance.
Yeah, and you have to appreciate the fact that, I take my hubs apart, I'm tinkering, I'm cleaning them, I'm checking them.
Yeah.
I'm not riding thousands of miles every year. I'm just not that guy. I ride a few times a week. You can go look at my Strava, you won't be impressed. But I check my stuff, and we have a shop and we go over everything pretty meticulously. But the average guy,
they're not doing that.
They're not going to do that. And you can't expect them to do that. So I think invest in a wheel set that at least has very durable, well-reviewed hubs and comes from a reputable build, so that you're not going to be dealing with, spokes breaking. That'll ruin your day if you get a couple spokes that go off. Hubs failing. It's just not fun, and it ruins it. So I think the further you go up the cycling ladder, the more tolerant you become to pushing the limits of equipment.
Yeah.
So the pros, they're on the very bleeding edge.
Yeah.
And they're used to stuff, breaking or failing, because they need to be at the very limit. Because if you're not on the very limit, then you're not winning.
Yeah.
So they're used to things breaking, and they probably have a pretty high tolerance. Now, ironically, they have the biggest support staff to support all that. So they've got a field of mechanics to say, it's no problem if it breaks.
Just put your new wheel in.
Yeah. So the higher up you go, the more exotic the materials become and the more tolerant you become to failure. But at the bottom, you need something that's just going to go.
Okay.
Like workhorse, you can just ride it a whole year, maybe do one winter maintenance, and then just do it again. Okay,
that's kind of the answer as I was expecting. But once, like you say, once we start to move up this ladder and you become more into cycling, you become more aware of all the different components, and performance starts to become a bit of a priority for you. Maybe not the ultimate priority, because let's face it, we're still talking about amateur riders who are having to buy their equipment.
Yeah.
So they still want it to be durable and robust, but they're like, hey, I want a bit more from this. So then if we're looking at those shallower depths, say 30 all the way up to a 50 for someone starting out that's not all about performance, where do we start to go from there? People that are maybe doing Gran Fondos, the occasional race, do they need something drastically different, or what's changing?
So I think as you start moving into a more competitive but amateur sort of situation, you can go deeper and you will get pretty big aero gains. Okay. So I'm a proponent of deep. I love riding deep wheels because they just go. Like if you ride a really aero set of deep wheels, they're just so fast.
Yeah.
Like you go down a downhill on a group ride and you're just, guys will be pedaling and you'll be coasting and you'll be walking away from everybody.
But can I just throw the trade-off here is obviously people are going to just have one wheel set.
Yes.
So do they go crazy with the big deep boys and just accept that they're not great for climbing?
No, it depends on if you want to be reasonable or unreasonable. If you want to be reasonable, I think what we would call a mid-depth wheel in the 60 to 65 range. Obviously now there's this UCI limit for mass start races where 65 doesn't apply obviously to many amateurs going on group rides. So that doesn't matter. But I think a 60 to a 65 millimeter wheel now, a modern width 60 to 65 millimeter wheel in that range has become light enough. The material weight has come down that it's equivalent to what a 35, 40 or 45 millimeter wheel was 4 years ago.
Yeah.
So the weight has come down on materials where you can have a medium depth wheel that still climbs really well, but you'll get lots and lots of aero gains without paying a weight penalty.
Okay. So what about in terms of, we were talking about confidence earlier. Obviously, that needs to be throughout, no matter how good you are.
Correct.
You need to be confident. But how does something like a 60 mil deep rim seem okay for most conditions, for most people? Or are we starting to be towards the realms of like, it might be a bit of a handful in some situations?
I think if you're at that level, you have put enough miles on the bike where you know what you're doing, where you're not a nervous Nelly, going down a hill. So I think for the amateur cyclist that has now moved up into, I'm doing some races, some Grand Fondos, some events, I think 60 millimeters is completely fine to handle, especially if it is a more modern profile. We've done so much work on aerodynamics. All the wheel companies work on this to a large extent to make a wheel that's both aerodynamically fast and crosswind stable. This is like, now it's become like a recording on repeat. Oh, stable in crosswinds and aerodynamically fast. It's just, everyone says it. But there is some truth to like the new modern wheels across the board are all very good. Otherwise these guys, guys wouldn't be racing on them. And they're all very, they're very fast. You're starting to get to a level where the gains are diminishing. Like you can only get so aero. You still have physics. You can't break the laws of physics.
Break the laws of physics.
So you can only get so aerodynamic given your frontal area. You can't break the laws of physics. And the dimensional changes are so small that make these effects that now we're dealing with tenths, 0.2, 0.5 of a millimeter are making changes in the aerodynamics. Those are we're not changing dimensions by massive amounts anymore because we've honed in. So the long answer to your question is I think a 60 millimeter wheel for a person who's at that level is completely fine.
Okay, and that's going to strike the balance that should tick the boxes for most situations.
I think unless you're Everesting or doing some crazy climbing, I think it's the new wheels are light enough that you can climb on them very, very acceptably with no real penalty, unless you're doing like you guys are doing hill climbs that are weight weenie things. But I think that's a good place to be. Obviously, like I said, I like going super deep. My bike that I ride around town on these group rides, I've got 75/80s on it.
Of course you have.
And it's awesome.
Why wouldn't you if you can?
I mean, Richard rides a tri-spoke set on group rides, and people think he's absolutely mental because he just rocks up on a tri-spoke set.
I just don't know how I feel about this.
It's amazing. It's incredible. And the sound and the speed, they're great. They just roll. They just keep rolling.
I do a lot of my commuting on 60mm deep wheels. It's over the top. It's ridiculous.
It's probably quite fun.
It's great fun. I love it. It gets me to the office in good time.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Mate, that's really cool. I mean, we could sit here for hours talking about this nerd stuff, but I think that's been really interesting to see that your advice for most people is deeper than most people would anticipate. Yeah.
I'll always suggest that too.
Mega. Good news. So I think it was Mega talking to Harrison, but the one thing that perhaps surprised me the most was his thoughts that your average rider could perhaps be benefiting from riding 60mm wheels all the time. That surprised me, but like, what do you think about it?
Well, it's just aero trumps weight, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I think there's more of a fashion element as to why people maybe go for the slightly shallower ones, but...
Yeah, I just wasn't expecting to say 60mm for everybody. I was like a bit more conservative in my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Everyone on the deep boys moving forwards. Share your thoughts in the comments section as well down below. I'm keen to hear what everyone else has to say about this. Should we move on to hot tech?
We shall.
Yes.
The first thing I just want to point out is some... Well, like, considering we've just been talking about wheels.
Yeah.
Last week in the tech show, we showed some hot tech from Rouleur of DT Swiss's new ARC 38s, which is their lightest top-of-the-range wheel that they do.
Yeah.
Beautiful 180 hubs that they've just updated on there. But the big crazy thing about those wheels was they've switched to carbon spokes.
Yeah, this surprised me, actually.
And they've saved 125 grams in the wheel set. I just think this is quite an interesting moment that I didn't really emphasise that sort of enough, I think, when we were there.
Yeah.
Just because in the past, DT Swiss, everything that if you bought a DT Swiss wheel, everything on that wheel was DT Swiss.
Yeah.
So the spokes, the nipples.
Like the full ecosystem.
Yeah.
They took
the
control.
rim, the hub, it was all DT. And so everything was designed to complement each other and work together. And they are, DT Swiss supply a lot of OEM components to other wheel brands, be it hubs, spokes, rim, all sorts. So that's quite interesting that they then moved to carbon spokes that are being made by someone else. What's also interesting and made me think about this was you were just chatting to Harrison, and I know from when I've spoken to Harrison, Princeton Carbon Works aren't using carbon spokes yet.
No.
Because he doesn't believe in the structural integrity of them yet.
Yeah, and this was actually, so we did go full nerd chat about this in something that I was anticipating using in a separate video because we did get super nerdy on some of the stuff about weights. But it was interesting hearing from Harrison his thoughts on carbon spokes, because like you say, you've spoken to him in the past. But I think, to me, the big takeaway from it was that it sounded like it's not specifically that he was like ruling out carbon spokes, the thing they would do. It was just like perhaps he felt that the current technology of carbon fiber spokes didn't feel like it was ready for them to use. Do you know what I mean? He's like waiting for that next little step of development. A lot of that, I think, what he was talking about was the fact that typically the carbon spokes now need a much larger hole drilled into the hub and the rim. And I think that was one of their sort of stumbling blocks, as well as like the security of the spoke in the hub.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I will have to just watch this space, I guess. I mean, I think we should probably try and do a deep dive into carbon spokes again and see what we can find out.
I think they are becoming more and more popular, especially with more and more wheel brands using them. I think it's becoming, instead of like a top tier products that people like don't really have access to, all of a sudden it's quite, people can be using carbon spokes on a more regular basis.
Yeah.
We've
got some gravel bikes next, but these are no ordinary gravel bikes.
I can't believe I'm saying this. We've got 2 new gravel bikes made from wood.
Yeah.
They're from a brand called Ornus.
Who are Italian.
Yeah, so apparently these new bikes are born from the research of the MLK Innovazione SRL, a startup based in Grosseto.
Which is in Tuscany.
Yeah, what's that all about then? I'm now confused.
What do you mean?
Well, I thought it was Italian. And now we're talking about Tucson.
Are you for real? You?
No, I've just like really got confused.
Where's Strada Bianchi?
Yeah.
Tuscany. Siena.
You said Tucson.
Tuscany.
No, he didn't.
Florence. Tuscany.
What?
Siena.
I don't understand. I thought you just said Tucson, like Arizona. I was
no, I didn't know. I think you're going mental.
Sid, replay the tape.
Do we need what's the football analogy? Like VAR?
VAR.
Can we have VAR on this?
Which is in Tuscany.
You said Tucson.
Tuscany.
No, he didn't.
Sorry, I should pay attention to what you say more. Okay, right. I've lost my train of thought, but let's talk more about the bikes, shall we?
Wooden bikes, go.
Wooden bikes,
Bikes
okay.
from Tuscany.
Bikes from Tuscany, not Tucson, Arizona.
Yes.
Makes a lot of sense now.
Tuscany.
Why would anyone think they're from Tucson, Arizona? That would be ridiculous.
Tucson.
Right. Wooden gravel bikes. I'll talk more about the specs and details of them in a minute because there's two different bikes to discuss. The most, I don't know, maybe not the most appealing thing, but one of the great things about them is they use an FSC certified wood, so it's a far more sustainable product.
You can just burn it.
You could burn it if you wanted to. I could say that's probably not the best thing to do. So the two different options that you have, one is called the Grain. This is the racy kind of type of gravel bike. Designed with a full integrated frame. It says FEM optimization to ensure that there's stiffness where it needs to be and then compliance in the other areas. And they say the Grain is not just a wooden bike, it's a true gravel race machine designed for riders seeking responsiveness, precise handling, and a style that blends nature and technology.
I'm having a look at the pictures.
Yeah, I think they look kind of cool. This is the thing with the wooden frames are not exactly brand
How
new.
much does it weigh?
I'm going to say it's perhaps not the lightest bike because the weight isn't to hand.
What kind of wood is it?
Yeah, I don't actually know. You're asking me too many questions here that I don't really know. So you've got a frame set option for the gravel race bike or a complete bike. Complete bike, €8,990. And one of the things which is like super crucial really on gravel bikes, tyre clearance, right? No specified tyre clearance given on this, but it comes supplied with a 40mm tyre in it. You've done some research. Do you want to tell me what these bikes are made from in terms of the wooden material?
I believe it's ash, European ash.
Okay.
Which, incidentally, is also what cricket stumps are made of.
Is it? Well, thanks for that fun fact. Didn't know I need that, but I'm glad for it. So the bike, as I said, you can frame set option or a complete bike. The race bike is with Force Explorer, carbon fork, carbon accessories and bits and pieces. Frame set. Ready for some prices?
Yeah.
€5,490 for your frame set, or a complete bike, €8,990.
Hang on, the frame set price is...
Frame set is like what, five,
It doesn't seem that much more going to the complete bike when you think of like...
Yeah.
If you know like I mean, like an S-Works tarmac.
Like the jump up is not too crazy.
Yeah, like an S-Works tarmac frame set's about that price.
Yeah.
But then the complete bike's like 12 grand.
Yeah. Don't ask me, I don't make the prices.
Okay.
The other bike that's available is the Radix, designed for those who experience gravel as exploration. So a bit more like relaxed geometry, this kind of thing. More for bike packing adventures and endurance rides. So same kind of options again. You got 5 different sizes, a slightly different build on this bike. It's put up with Shimano GRX. Frame set price €4,490. Complete bike €6,990.
Would you buy a wooden bike?
I don't think I would. You know, it's not I don't appreciate the tech and the stuff behind it because I totally get all that. I just feel like what I desire from a bike is slightly different. What about you?
I don't know. I feel like if you really wanted to and you set your mind to it, you could make a bike from tea bags. It wouldn't be a good bike. Like, I just don't think wood is a good material to make a bike from. I think as a species, we've developed other materials which are far more suited to building a bike.
Yeah, but if you wanted a bike made out of wood, this is the kind of thing for you.
It is, yeah. If you want a bike made out of banana skins, then
If you
I'm
want a
sure
bike
you
made
could
out
do
of
that
tea
as well.
bags, I can't wait to see you launch.
It's all, look, just because you can do something doesn't necessarily mean that you should.
Okay, that's
And I'm sorry to be scathing about it.
words
but
of wisdom from Dr. Alan Fridgwood.
I think it's quite cool that people make wooden bikes.
I
but
do
I
think
just
it's cool.
Like,
Yeah.
it just feels like a novelty rather than an actual functional thing.
Yeah, I kind of know. I know what you're saying. Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment. Okay, back to the norm of carbon fibre superbikes then, shall we?
Well, no, I mean, there's like other material choices as well. There's plenty of like alloys and things that people can use.
Yeah, there are. It's just like carbon's been the go-to thing for a while now. Tell you what, that video that Connor made with that Peter, the carbon expert, at the weekend was so interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, he had some really good stuff to
Some
say.
good comments on that coming up.
Yeah.
Next up, there's a Canyon have a limited edition of their Speedmax
Yeah, it's like
triathlon
it's a
bike.
Challenge Roth edition. So Canyon unveils the second Road to Roth edition Speedmax. I think it's something they did last year. And it's just a limited edition design. I really like the lines on it, the theme of that.
That's a cool paint job.
Yeah, that
I
is
like the
really
way
cool.
they've sort of incorporated then the paint job into the disc wheel.
Yeah, I think that's really cool. And on the front, deep boy.
I'd imagine it's quite hypnotic when it's spinning around.
Yeah.
New
helmet?
got a new helmet, yeah.
These are
Kask
cool.
have got a new helmet.
Yeah, it's the Elementero, I think it is called, and it's a collaboration with MAP. Now look at the really cool, it's like graphics and graffiti style on here, I guess.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I really like stuff like this, but I feel like with products like this, it's one of the things you buy because you really think it's so cool, and then eventually you're like, I kind of don't really like the design all the time anymore. Do you know what I mean?
I would...
Would you get?
I think, you can't go wrong with just a white helmet.
Yeah. White is the best
It's
colour
visible,
for bike helmets. Yeah.
and it just goes with any kit. It just looks all right all the time.
Yeah. All right. Happy days. Moving on. We're on to the protein news now. Now that you told us about whey protein.
We are
What's the best one?
protein news.
Team news. Yes. So we have a name change for Israel Premier Tech. So they're now going to be known as NSN Cycling Team, which stands for Never Say Never. So they had a bit of a full rebrand. The team they're now saying it's a Swiss team with a Spanish structure. So they've really tried to sort of start afresh, I guess. Who knows what that actually means?
I've never heard of this company.
No, I haven't either. But I can tell you from
But that's the whole point. That's why you want to sponsor something.
from an article I read, it's
It's a company.
it's a company that claims to connect global audiences through the power of sports and entertainment, and it's co-founded by Iniesta.
Iniesta. Is that the legendary Spanish footballer?
The legendary Spanish footballer that I
Iniesta.
didn't know how to say the name of.
I don't know if it is him.
I think yes. No, you're right. Played for Barcelona.
Is it him?
Yeah, it's him.
No way.
Actually, you were trying to be sarcastic, but it genuinely
Well, that was the
is.
only Iniesta I've ever heard of.
Yeah, it is.
Is it? Oh,
Yeah, 100%. Also reported in some of the same articles is the fact that they have lost their Factor Bike sponsorship.
Which is the big tech part of
The big
story.
tech part. Yeah. And is likely to see that they're going to be riding on Scott bikes.
Oh, that's not confirmed
It's
yet.
not confirmed.
But makes sense, I guess, because
Yeah.
Scott are no longer doing Q36.5.
Now it's called Pinarello Q36.5. Happy days.
The other interesting thing about that, though, is with Factor now pulling out,
Yeah.
where are Factor going to be in the World Tour next
men?
year for men?
For men's, I don't think so. Women's, I'm not too sure either. But perhaps, maybe it's going to be a year where they just don't have a World Tour team sponsorship. Because they have lower tier sponsorship teams, they do.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest shame from the thing that I'm most I think it's a shame about that from a tech side is the new Factor Aero bike prototype, which we saw at the Criterium de Dauphiné.
Yeah.
Jake Stewart winning on it straight away. All this hype about it being super fast. We saw it in person, and it was just. I mean, it's so thin and aero.
It's absolutely off the charts.
I can believe that is the fastest aero bike right now.
Yeah.
And now it's not going to get ridden in the World Tour.
It does seem a shame to think that potentially we could see this absolutely mad bike and now we might not get to. I don't know. Because I didn't really like the look of it as such, but I'm all for boundaries being pushed where
Cool
possible.
innovation.
Yeah.
I thought it looked amazing. Anyway,
It leads us on to our competition, doesn't it?
yes. So you can kick it off.
Yeah, okay, I'll tell you about our competition. So we have a competition to win one of 3 bundles from Topeak. The bundle consists of the Z-Rack with a strap mount, the U-Shell dry bag, and the U-Shell for the Z-Rack Essentials. This is the little plastic storage tray that holds everything in together. The competition runs from the 25th of November to the 5th of December. There's a link in the description down below if you want to read all the terms and conditions and then enter. And as usual with almost all of our competitions, the winner will be announced on the GCN show in the coming weeks.
It's free to enter. You click on the link in the description. But as you were saying, terms and conditions do apply.
Do read those.
Sorry if you're watching from North Korea, the competition's not open to you.
Damn it. Side note, actually, before we end Hot Tech, we have 2 cool little things to talk about. One of the things happened yesterday. We had a local hill climb near us, the Cobble Wobble, right? Our pal, Charlie Hoy, actually won, beating one of the world's best climbers, Andrew Feather, who actually finished further down the results sheet than perhaps I've ever seen in any hill climb before.
Sorry, just one of the best climbers in the world. Just be clear, Kim Jong-un is the best climber in the world.
As reported by what newspaper?
I'm just aware that we need to appease Kim Jong because he's not able to enter the Topeak competition.
I wonder where this was going. I was like, this is going down a dark hole here. Yeah, but I think we pulled it back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all right.
Cool.
So not only did he beat one of the world's greatest climbers, he did so wearing jeans and a T-shirt. I'm all for that.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I like that.
What a hero.
Hairfluence.
Ollie has become a hairfluencer with your free product deals.
No deals.
No deals, to be fair.
Just this guy,
Just send us stuff
very kindly, called Brad,
Yeah, Brad.
from a company called Blue Tit in London that has hair salons.
Yeah. Is this a...
Apparently, he was trying to find me at Rouleur, but didn't. But he did bump into Sai.
Yeah, I was going to say, is this the
Apparently,
person that
Sai is a hairfluencer as well now. Sent us some shampoo and some hair stuff. So now,
What have we got?
yeah,
Frequent
Give it a
use
whirl.
hair and scalp bath with
There you go.
zero something else in it. This is great.
I mean, what you're gonna have to do is watch next week and see if my hair has become a different colour or if it's looking even more radiant,
I don't know, that's not possible. It smells great.
or if it's all fallen out. Well,
Yeah.
we'll find out. Anyway, stay tuned.
Yeah, so subscribe to follow the hair story.
Thanks, Brad.
Yeah. Right, now time for comments of the week. First comments from last week's show. Edward Sykes 8608. GCN presenters should investigate performance under the influence. Boozy racing coming, anybody? Turns out it might actually be a thing in the coming weeks.
We were thinking of doing it the day after the Christmas party.
Yeah. I mean, this is-
GCN Mega Base Christmas party.
I'm not sure I'm down for this.
You know.
Yeah. Probably. Yeah, it'd be alright.
Yeah,
Brian Molly, 3691 says, it's a mountain bike with drop bars. Just admit it. Just admit the bike industry. The John Tomac is the grandfather of this segment. Yeah, I'm kind
I'd
of
agree with that.
partly inclined to agree with that, to be honest. And then the video we were talking about earlier where Connor was speaking to, is it Peter Giddings, the
Carbon
fibre
expert.
expert?
Yeah.
This, honestly, it was so fascinating to hear all the stuff Peter had to say. Someone that I could probably listen to talking about facts and information for a long, long time. Do you want to read the first one out?
So yet another generated username says, seriously, to me this was the best and arguably most important GCN Tech video ever. Informative, easy to understand, covering all aspects from material science to engineering and sustainability. Thank you, Dr. Giddins, and of course, Connor.
Tuna fish -X2N. I like how this chap is very exact and precise with his explanations. The mark of a good scientist / engineer. He might challenge Dr. Ollie as chief scientist at GCN.
I'm sure he would.
Yeah, he did seem to know his onions.
Yeah, it's good. And then Sham says, as an engineer in the composite industry, really enjoyed this conversation and how the material and processing methods were articulated to a general audience. Yeah, really good.
Yeah, hats off to him. And then at the weekend, I also had...
And I think, well, it does. I mean, it's that thing of I've just basically poo-pooed wooden frames.
Yeah.
And the big argument in that video is basically to do with the environmental impact of carbon fibre.
Yeah, I did find that really interesting, how he said a lot of his focus is on sustainability.
But another part of sustainability as well is how long a product lasts. I don't know how long a wooden frame would last.
Who knows? I don't actually know the answer. So then also the weekend, I had a video where I got my AliExpress frame, which I'm hoping turns out to be like a pretty good build. I still need input from everybody else in terms of what parts to build, but it was cool to see the process, see the buy, the ordering process, and then my attempt. Should we call it an attempt at painting it? Because a lot of people said that was the worst paint they'd ever seen in their entire life.
When you turn the lights off, I think it looks pretty cool.
So it's great in the dark.
Yeah.
When you can't really see it.
Well, you can see it.
Yeah, you can. So loads of suggestions in terms of group sets for the L2 or wheeltop group set. Loads of people saying I just need to get elite wheels and be done with it.
I really want you to get the L2 stuff.
Just so you can say it.
No. Like, honestly, when I've seen it in Taipei
Yeah.
at the bike show, that's the one that has impressed me the most.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards that. I'm just not committed yet.
Oh, do it. Honestly, it's so good.
I need to crowbar some more money out of the GCNTech piggy
I want to
bank
see if
as
it
well.
works.
Also, people are saying a brand called Topeak or Fast Sports for the bars. So I'm going to keep doing my research.
Fast Sports used to be a big name in carbon wheels. They were one of the first brands to really start doing the sort of AliExpress wheels.
So I feel like I recognise the name, so perhaps a little bit more established.
Yeah, Fast Sports are long established.
Yeah, this is good. So also, China Cycling commented under the video. This is Joe, right? From China Cycling?
Yeah, I had a good chat with Joe actually last week as part of a video that I'm working on about Chinese products.
Yeah, it's a subject we've been discussing a lot at GCN Megabase, isn't it? So we're trying our best to find like hard facts out about it.
Yeah, and
So,
I'm also planning to get Trace Fellow involved in this video as well.
Luke, good
Luke,
guy. Yeah, I'm intrigued to see what both those have to say. So anyway, China Cycling says, always go for something with a brand/logo on it, even if it's not a cool name. Why? Well, the brand or company has some kind of skin in the game. They don't want pictures of their cracked and broken frame with logos plastered all over the internet. If it's unbranded,
Like yours.
like mine, there's a lot less to lose. It's a good point to raise, though, isn't it? There's no one rule to guarantee quality whatsoever. Good video, Alex. Love the project bike. McLovin from Oz. With the lights off, it looks amazing. With the lights on, it looks like you've done a long ride behind someone throwing out snot rockets. Yes, it's kind of polite way of putting it. Lots of people put crude comments underneath the video.
Yeah, what?
I'm not reading them out because they're rude.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What were they insinuating?
Rude things.
Yeah, like what?
Rude.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Like what?
Don't know.
Go on.
Nah.
Say it.
Nah. Don't lose my job. Hey, Charles just outside.
Oh.
Anyway. Well, you've thrown my train of thought. And Martin. We're back to laughing like two little boys again. We're a bunch of idiots. You read the last comment out.
The last comment from Martin Shue says, putting a battery warning on a fragile object seems smart. We all know that couriers don't care about fragile, but batteries can catch fire and ruin not only your day, but also your career. So maybe couriers will be gentler with them. This, I think that could be why your boxes had battery warnings on.
Oh, the
for those who aren't aware, the carbon fibre frame that Alex bought, the frame box had battery warning stickers on it.
Yeah.
I think that's why.
Yeah, although you say that, the box was still pretty battered.
But there was a story about 7 years ago of a bike company that was shipping carbon bikes.
Yeah.
I forget which one it was. Anyway, they basically made their boxes look like TV boxes. And they said TVs are inside.
Yeah.
And they actually then reported much lower damage statistics
This is
of
brilliant.
their product because the people handling them were like, oh, better be careful with this. It's got a TV in it.
Very light
Even though
TV.
it actually had a bike in it.
This is actually great. I'm all for that. Right, more comments next week. We'll pick out the best ones. Which leads us on to the Bike Vault. This is the part of the show where you upload pictures of your bikes via the link in the description down below. We pick out some of the best ones and judge them to be nice or super nice. If they're super nice, the bell gets rung.
First up, we have a Trek Checkmate from Rene M. And he says, on a previous tech show, you guys stated a gravel bike was okay to be submitted dirty. Well, here is my Trek Checkmate with some gravel dust on it.
I like it.
It's also got SRAM Red Explorer 13 speed, 45mm Pirelli Cinturato gravel H's, tubeless.
Yeah, got some of the new ones behind us, actually.
He's in Florida, where he's riding.
Do you know what? I like this bike. I do.
I think that's really cool. And I think I do like the bit of sort of white gravel dust on the tyres and wheels there. I think that looks cool. Is that a gold chain?
Gold chain, fist bump.
I think that's I think that's a really nice bike. Disappointed that there's not some sort of like python or manatee or alligator crawling across that path in the background.
Well, we've seen how powerful Sid's editing skills are when he made an absolute mockery of Connor and I. So, Sid, can we have a snake in the background, please?
Just to enhance the sort of Florida-ness of that.
And a crocodile. Go all out. Thanks.
No, alligator.
Alligator, sorry. Chris Simpson next. with a budget giant Revolt build going along with Alex's budget bike build. Here's a giant Revolt that I bought in 2020 in COVID for $1,000 US. Since then, made some upgrades, mainly using parts for cheap. Raval C38 wheels, free hand-me-down, used Shimano, Ultegra crank 105 shifters.
I like that.
Yeah, I like this.
Also said he got it so that he could ride the gravel in North Carolina,
Okay.
which is blooming good round there. I've spent a lot of time in that part of the world.
Do you know what? You're
Just
turning,
one time at camp
you're turning into a secret
in
graveler.
Brevard.
I don't-
That's where I was.
Uh,
Which is incidentally also Dylan Johnson's hometown. Is where I was.
Dylan Johnson, my best mate, Dylan. Yeah.
DJ.
DJ. DJ. I like the bike. I like the brown saddle.
You're
I
gonna
like the
like
brown bar tape.
They've done a lot better job of sort of matching the Pantone of the saddle, the tape, and the frame. Unlike your celebration of brown, where it was like you were trying to find every different shade of brown.
You could have all of the shades of brown at once.
That's better. That.
Yeah, that's a lot better.
That's a best. Yeah.
Super nice?
I think it's super nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Gareth Allard next.
Gareth Allard.
Henry Burton vintage road bike, Reynolds 653 frame, Durace 7400 group set, Durace hubs. His wife's granddad was a serious cyclist in his day.
Oh.
Fortunately, he passed away a couple of years ago, and it sounds like this is his bike.
Used to do all early morning club rides from
Yeah.
Alderley Edge in Cheshire all the way to Betsy Coyd in Snowdonia.
That's crazy.
That's a long way, and that was in his 20s, in the mid 1960s.
Wow.
That was hardcore. back
Respect
then.
for that.
Yeah.
The bike, we got to rate it. The
That is
drywall needs some
blooming
screws, screw holes filling in. By the looks
Well, I
of it.
don't know. They look like bullet holes to me.
I don't think they are.
I think they're bullet holes.
Yeah, it's most logical.
I know a
decision.
bullet hole when I see one, Alex.
Yeah, I think you do.
I think that is super nice.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
Is that the OG saddle, or is that
upgrade.
an upgrade that's a modern vintage Brooks saddle? Because that's a very nice saddle.
Part of me wants to say it looks like it could be the original, but I don't know.
I think that's absolutely. I blooming love that.
Can we
bike. It's
super nice
fantastic. That is a super
Yeah.
nice. Yeah.
Even though the front valve's not aligned. Next one over to you.
Roman Crider
Yeah.
with a beige gravel bike.
Best
Apparently, this is a cheap gravel from Russia with Shimano brakes, micro shift advent transmission, and 32 Continental tyres.
Okay. Oh, we haven't had the wrong side of the bike for a number of shows now. A long time, in fact.
I mean, is this in Russia?
Listen, Outleap is the name of the bike. I'm assuming it's in Russia. Don't actually know. The bike could be good if it was presented well. Unfortunately, it's not presented well.
No.
Super nice. Sorry, I nearly said super
I
nice.
think it is a nice.
Yeah, it's
I think
nice.
the front mudguard needs a little bit of like position tweaking
Yeah,
as
yeah,
well.
for sure.
But yeah, non-drive side. Unfortunately, that is just a nice.
Okay, next one. What we got? Scott Addict.
Blackie
Yeah.
Palter 2.
What do we
Ooh.
make of this? UCI Gravel World Championships colorway. Light bicycle wheels and hubs, FSA K-wing bars.
Do you know what I like
Down
about
under
this?
Australia.
They said that they're doing the one bike two wheel sets thing, which is
Yeah.
what you've done videos about.
Yeah, I think it could be the future.
Light bicycle rims, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely. I like this.
I think that looks.
I don't like the bag under the down tube.
Yeah,
It's too much for me.
it's that big sort of udder.
It's a large
Attachment.
udder. Do you know what? Nice. I'm sorry. It's nice.
I'm not into the into that bag thing on the thing
Yeah.
as well.
Nice. Sorry.
Why not put it under the saddle?
Yeah, that would be a far more effective solution. Right, on to the last one for this week's Bike Vault. It's Leo Paskin with a bike that is their trusty steed and has been their companion for the last 17 years. 2009 Orbea Orca, size 60.
Is that Connor's size, a 60?
Connor rides a 60, yeah.
Campagnolo Chorus, 11-speed. Zip 60s.
I mean, it's probably gone through a number of group sets in the last how many
I'll
years.
tell you
they've
what,
had it.
they're into their Eastern EC90 finishing kit.
Oh, yeah.
All the gear. You got
Eastern
the saddle,
EC90.
you got the seat posts, the bars, the
Completed
stem.
it. I like this bike.
That is sick.
It's kind of cool.
I think it's very cool.
Don't you think it's funny to see how just frame shapes have evolved since then?
I really like that Campagnolo Chorus 11-speed. I think it's a really nice looking group set.
Yeah.
Particularly the rear derailleur and the chain set.
Yeah. I've got like a real soft spot for those Campa group sets.
Well, no, I was that ridden bikes that had that.
I've not really had the chance to use a lot of this stuff.
Really good, yeah.
Nice or super nice?
I think that one. I don't know. Ooh, I think that's a super nice. I think it's cool,
Yeah, I'm leaning towards
and I
super
love
nice.
that it's just like. Do you know what I mean? Like it's just sort of all the sort of upgrades and bits going on it.
Yeah.
And, it's someone that's like, it's Leo is just an experienced rider. They know what bits they want. Like he's got Jura Ace pedals on there.
They know what they want and they just stick to it.
They've tried and tested bits out. That it's just into it. Good tyres on there. Yeah,
Go on, cool it.
super nice.
Oh, that was blooming satisfying, that. Last bike for the bike vault, job done. Means the show's drawn to the end of a close. That was good.
Yeah, cool. Let us
good to have you
know
back.
what wheels you think. If you're going to have just one set of wheels, let us know what you go for.
I'm intrigued to see what everyone says. I think we're going to get a lot of mixed answers here. Best ones, we'll read them out next week.
One set of wheels, I'm going like 45s. If I'm just having one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. See you next week. Love you. Bye.